Hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, it's 𝗙𝗶𝗍𝗀. Thank you for coming. For the subscribers, always thank you so much for the love, the support. It always means a lot to me. Thank you so much. Well guys, in today's video, this is something that has been circulating on TikTok, and it's about this African woman who lives in the UK and came on the internet to literally warn us Africans on why we shouldn't aspire so much to go to the West, that it's no longer what it used to be, and that we should really look to other places but not the West. So yeah guys, watch this clip with me, come back and let's talk about it.
Hear me out. If you're Nigerian, Kenyan, Cameroonian, Ghanaian, South African, whichever country that you're from in Africa, so long as you're my brother, you're my sister, do not move to the UK, the US, Europe, Canada, Australia, the collective West. Do not move there 2023. And I'm going to be sharing some of the reasons why. I've gotten so much hate for it, but I know that there are going to be a few people who would go and do their research and know what's going on. Where you're running to, the citizens of those countries are looking to move out. Currently in 2023, the inflation in all these Western countries, all these Western economies, Europe included, they're in the double digits. Most people can afford, even with a decent wage, most people can afford to save. Most people can afford to live their lives without feeling like they're slaving away, which I know you would do literally anything to leave Africa, because I mean, you may as well go and be a slave there as long as you're seeing the electricity, the good road, the security. But it's not like that anymore. It's not like it used to be. Those of them who have been in the system, that's why I always say, if you want to move to the West, if you want to relocate, please do not listen to only your agents. Do not listen to those people who have just gone there about a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, that will tell you, just the superficial things. Listen to the people who have been in the system for well over 20 years, 25 years, 30, who have lived most of their lives. They've had children there. Second generation, third generation, fourth generation, fifth. Listen to those ones. They will tell you the drastic changes that have had to happen in the West. Those who have been there, the citizens, they know. The free schools you're talking about is on the brink of collapse. The healthcare brink of collapse. When I talk about brink of collapse, it's not what it used to be. Yes, the schools are free. Not really free, because somehow, nothing in the West is free. Please get that inside your head, please. The way people try around the world, free healthcare, free this, you're somewhat in some way going to still pay for it, but you may not know that you're paying for it. You're taxed for everything. It's remaining the air that you're breathing. That's the only thing remaining for them not to tax, which they will one day tax. The school system is in shambles. Imagine a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old being told that maybe you have a son. They are being taught that there are different genders apart from male and female. They are being taught to identify as fishes, trees, whatsoever. You cannot wake up and do that rubbish in Africa. If you're moving, you need to be aware of the way the system in wherever you're going to is set up. The healthcare system is free, but how is it that you have your money and you want to walk into, how you have your money, you walk into, no matter how bad it is in Africa, no matter how bad it is in Nigeria, you can always get an appointment on the same day. There are people, do you know that there are people waiting for years and years just for a surgery? Get to see a doctor. It's they get recommended paracetamol. They get recommended things that you would have even wished you did at home. And yes, it may feel rosy, it may feel like heavenly to you because you're coming from where it's not working. But along the line, you will see that now I see why these people are moving out. The Chinese, they are coming heavily to invest in Africa. British people, most of them are moving to Australia, New Zealand. Most of the places you're going to, Americans are trooping here in Saudi Arabia, trooping to Dubai, Qatar. They are leaving their economies. Most of these economies, they've been flooded by immigrants, and it's not bad. It's not bad until you see that it's bad. I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm only trying to open your eyes to the reality of things. And these agents that are trying to take your money, they wouldn't tell you that. The people you're talking to constantly, maybe they are even ignorant about what's happening. To them, they found a better life. To them, oh, I never had electricity. Now I do have 24/7 electricity. But with time, you would know that this is not the level I want to be. Having to work 40 hours a week, I'm still not able to have a life, travel when you can, have a holiday, that you can't just go bankrupt. Just have a family, work-life balance. These are the things that we take for granted in Africa. Yes, we have our issues. We have the issue of corruption, the issue of insecurity. The issues are enormous in Africa. But please be aware of where you're going to. Let's not always condition our minds, The chains of colonialism hasn't still left us to always think that the West is the only place that we can find greener pastures. There are countries like Switzerland. There are countries like the UAE. There are countries like different places that you can literally have a better life. Different places that you can literally just live well without having to slave away. People are leaving the UK in droves whilst you're running to go to the UK, and leaving the USA in droves. You're running away from insecurity, from being kidnapped in Africa, but you're running into a system where literally when you send your child off to school, you don't know what's gonna happen. Please do your research. And yeah, that's all I have to say.
As you've seen in the video, that is what she had to say, and I can say things that are positive and negative about what she talked about. And I know majority of the time people are always telling Africans not to go to other countries. Why are we leaving Africa? Why can't we stay in our continent and build the African continent? Let me use my example. In my country, Uganda, I see a lot of people that are really hardworking. I see a lot of people that are really ambitious and want to do greater and better for their lives or whatever they want to achieve in life. But the thing is, if you live in a country that is governed by people that don't really do good for their own people, then that is a problem. And majority of the time when I come here, I call a lot of the people from the diaspora to come into the African continent, because I always tell you guys, you come from a privileged space than the actual Africans. And her saying that we should go to, let's say, UAE, that's the Middle East, or go to other nations but not the West. For a person myself that went to Dubai before and what I experienced in those countries, I think I would actually encourage my people to go to the West instead of the Middle East. It's the worst place ever. And I'm not saying that Africans don't survive in the UAE, just that the experience, if you go and start to live in that environment, it is not okay, especially for you as an African person. You're literally not seeing more of a human being, because that's the reality of it. Majority of us Africans that go, or that I saw in the UAE, were not really treated as they should. There were no rights for us, I would say. And then when you come back to the country itself, being Uganda, my country, there are so many agencies that come up and want to encourage a lot of Ugandans to go and work abroad, and they promise us a lot of money, and sometimes it's not even a lot of money, but if you look into the price of what they are giving you in the other nations and the money that you are earning in your own country, you are literally forced to take that contract to go in that company and go and look for greener pastures for yourself and for the people that maybe you need to care of. So I can understand where we come from to want to even leave our countries. I would say Africans love their countries. And for this lady to say that we shouldn't leave because we need to develop the continent, I think that is a myth. Because let me tell you, every African that leaves the continent, no matter where they go, they will always send money home. They will always buy assets home. They will always invest in the motherland. You can't tell me that Africans are not investing in their continent just because they are living in the West. I think that is the biggest propaganda I hear a lot or majority of the time. We always come on the internet majority of the time as Africans or black people to say that white people are a problem. I would say they are the cause of most of the problems, but are we still waiting for them to give us a notice and be like, you know what, now it's time for you to change your education, fix your health, to do these things that are positive for you? I don't think so. And why am I saying that? These companies that come and take these people or a lot of African people, promising them good jobs in the West or anywhere else around the world, they are African people themselves. They know they are lying to these people. They know there are no jobs that these people are going to get, but they still take advantage of their own fellow people and sell them into slavery, because that's what I call it. I guarantee you guys, no African wants to leave their own countries if those countries were stable, because why would we live in the first place? We have majority of the things that run the world. We have the food, the climate, the resources, we have the labor. We literally have everything that we need as African people. But because we don't have the right people that are ruling us in our countries, we don't have the right support that is given to us in our businesses, we don't even have the right people to do the necessary of putting up nice or beautiful, healthy sectors, investing in our technology, our education, in our health, in the history of African people, in the things that benefit us as people, in our resources. How are you expecting Africans to really stay in the continent? And I'm not justifying the fact that we actually leave our countries to go to the West, but do we really even have the real people in power that are doing things that are benefiting Africans to be able to stay in the continent? I can go on and on about this conversation, but yeah, that's all I can say for now. Let me know what you think about this. Yeah, in case I missed out anything, please comment in that section down below. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.